मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः. In the previous class, we completed our contemplation with the 9th verse of the chapter, which was the 5th verse, or the 4th verse of the Stuti itself. So in that verse, Dhruva was speaking to Bhagavan and he said, people like me, O Bhagavan, we are within samsara, having been captured by Maya. We ask you for material things. That is what I have also come here for, even though you are able to grant moksha. And you will give us those material benefits and we will again and again be born in this samsara again and again. That is what he said. Contrasting to that, he continues with the next verse. So 10th is like a contrast to the 9th verse. Meaning, we are asking only for material benefits. But there are people who ask you for what you can actually give. Ya nirvritihi tanubhritam tava padapadma dhyanad bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyad. There are people who do karma in this world without any desires for its fruits, or they worship you just for the sake of worshipping you out of unconditional love towards you. That is the kind of devotion that they have. And why do they have that kind of devotion? Because the bliss that comes for a person who is worshipping, who is so devoted to Bhagavan, Nirvritihi means the kind of uh, no worry at all. Nirvriti means absolutely no worries. Nothing in this world is going to affect you. No affectation. That is called as nirvriti. So we have translated that as bliss, but it is more a state of where neither sukha nor dukkha can affect you. The material happiness, pleasure or pain will not be able to affect you. That is nirvriti. So that nirvriti will come for human beings or any embodied being when they meditate on your lotus feet. Tava pada padma dhyanat. When the dhyana is done on your lotus feet, or bhavajjana katha shravanena, by listening to the stories of your devotees, various Bhagavat katha. Bhagavata katha itself means, the word Bhagavata also means those who are devotees of Bhagavan. By listening to their charitra, there is great ananda. Why do we all keep returning to this class, or we go listen to Saptaham, Navaham, we listen to Rama Katha, Krishna Katha again and again? Why do we do that? Because it gives a bliss that is not available elsewhere. So this kind of bliss which is available in listening your glories and on meditating upon your form and feet, maybe even if we attain Brahmajnana, that kind of bliss may not be there, he says. So he's comparing to that and he says, I don't even want Brahmajnana. Even in the glory of that Brahma Swarupa that people call Swamahimanyapi Brahmani. Swamahimani means that which is self-effulgent, that which is filled with glory. Swamahimani Brahmani api Natha Mabhut. Maybe it is not there. Maybe it is not present even in that Brahma Swarupa itself. Then he is giving here an uttamopama. What it means is you compare it with something higher and say, even there such a bliss might not be available. Then what to speak of antakasurulitat patatam vimanat. Here vimana usually means an aerial vehicle or something. Here a vimana means the plane of our desires. It is a flight which is made up of our desires. So we are always moving on the flight of our desires. And this flight will suddenly drop down and crash when Yama comes and cuts it. So Antaka means Yama. Asi is the sword. Lulana is to cut. When it is cut by the sword of death, the plane of desire, when it will immediately crash. And after that, there is nothing, no more desires. Then again, next birth and continuation, new plane will take off. And then it will crash land again. So, when this is being the case, there is no bliss at all over here. The whole of this verse basically means the kind of bliss that I get upon meditating upon you or listening to the glories of your devotees is so great that it can even be compared to the bliss that is available in Parabrahma Swarupa itself. Then why, it is a rhetoric question he is asking, why, I don't understand why people would ask for that Kunapa Upabhogya, the previous verse, Kunapa Upabhogyam. Why would people ask for these material desires which are anyway going to crash land? Because it is going to be cut by the sword of death. At one time or the other, there is going to be separation. So from that Vimana, you are going to fall down. We are going to be relieved of that Vimana. Then what is to speak of these small, unmeaningful desires when your dhyana can give such a great desire, is what he says in verse 10. And he continues to 11. Therefore, since such a bhakti in you, such dhyana in you gives such a great bliss, may I always have that kind of bhakti in you. I do not want the bhakti which is going to give me some limited amount of saukhya. I want that bhakti which is going to give me unlimited, infinite bliss. Bhaktim muhuh tvayi bhaktim pravahatam. So here I have used the Anvaya order of the verse. So in you, may my devotion flow incessantly. Continuous devotion may it be there. Pravaha, vahati is like a flow of a river. There is no break. You cannot say there is a break in the river. You take some stick and you make a cut in the river. There is no cut. It keeps on flowing. Like that, may my bhakti flow towards you. Mahatam amalashayanam me prasangaha muhuhu bhuyat. May I always have the satsanga of great sages and great devotees. Here, Mahat means great people or those who are devoted to you, those who are Sat people. Amala Ashaya. Ashaya here means the heart. Those whose hearts are pure. What is the purity of heart? Those who are able to concentrate on Bhagavan, on Bhagavat Swarupa, their hearts are known to be pure. If we sit down for meditation, if I sit down for japa, then my mind scatters everywhere. It keeps going here and there. It thinks of 1,000 different things, except for whatever I sat down to do. That is the quality of an untrained, impure mind. Purity of mind is when you can focus on the Swarupa of Bhagavan or whatever you set out to do. So may I have such a Sangha, such an association with these great Mahatmas who are always in your devotion. O Ananta, O Infinite One, whenever I have this Mahat Purusha Sangha, association with these great devotees, Anjasa Uruvyasana Mulbanam Bhavabdhim Neshye. When such a satsanga is there, even this terrible samsara, the word ulbanam means terrible. Uruvyasanam means full of miseries. Uru means usually more, great miseries in this samsara. I can very easily pass my time here. Anjasa means so simply, so very easily. Bhava abdhim neshye. I have to travel in this ocean of samsara. So while I am traveling, at least I will have good company and this is not going to worry me and I will have nirvriti. What I want is nirvriti. I want a certain satisfaction and peace. I do not want the waves of this samsara to affect me. And for that, I need the company of such devotees. Bhavabdhim neshye. How will I spend my time? Bhavadguna kathamritapanamattaha. When I have such an association, such people around me, I will always be bathed in the nectar of your katha. So let me be intoxicated by drinking the nectar of your stories, your glories. That is enough for me. By that, I will easily pass my time in this ocean of samsara and let me cross it. This is what I ask of you, Bhagavan. He continues, verse 12. Te nasmarantyatitaram. O Isha, O Bhagavan, those who are doing in such a way, meaning these Mahat Amalashaya are those who are always immersed in the nectars of your qualities, they do not remember this samsara at all. They have forgotten the samsara. That means it does not stick to them, it does not affect them very much. So, atitaram priyam martyam. The word martyam means mortal. Here we have to understand it means the mortal body or the body that we have, the gross body. It is so dear to us. This body of ours is so dear to us. That is why we keep saying, I am this body, I am this body. We try to beautify it, we try to keep it fit, we do so many things for the sake of the body, which is very much necessary because we like it so much. There is so much dearness, preeti towards that. So, atitaram priyam martyam. Very extremely dear body of this, they do not even remember this own body. And all the other things that come along with this body. Yecha anu adaha. Adaha means this. Adash shabda. Napumsakalinga. So others, this body, whichever follows, anu means to follow. That which follows or comes along with this body. What comes along with this body? All the relations that we have, the possessions that we have, the things that we associate as I and mine, which is Suta Suhrid Griha Vitta Dharaha. Our children, Suhrit, friends, Griha, house, or any other possessions, Vitta, wealth that we have, Dharaha, wives that we have, and all the Bandhavas. The whole of the samsara that we call is Suta Suhrit Griha Vitta Dharaha. All of them are associated with this body. Priyam Martyam Anu Adaha. They follow along with the identification with this body. But the person who is devoted to you, Nasmaranti. They do not remember this at all. They have forgotten about this whole. That is, if anything that happens here does not affect them, because ye tu abjanabha bhavadiya padara vinda saugandhya lubdha hridayeshu krita prasangaha. O abjanabha, O one with the lotus in his navel, what do? Bhavadiya padaravinda. Your lotus feet. They are always thinking of that. How are they thinking? Saugandhya lubdha hridayaha. Their mind has lubdha here is one is greed for the fragrance of that. Lubdha also means their hearts have been stolen because of the great fragrance of your feet. Your feet has such attractive fragrance that they have forgotten, they have lost their heart to that fragrance. Saugandhyena lubdham hridayam yesham. That lotus of your feet is giving such beautiful fragrance that they have lost their heart there. See the nice simile that he's bringing. These people are like bees who are attracted to that lotus feet, and there they have lost themselves. That way, krita prasangaha, they have cultivated deep association with you. And therefore, they do not remember this samsara of Suta Suhrit Grihavitta Dharaha. May I also become like that is the request. That is how he continues. So they are not affected by samsara. And then he says, Tiryang Nagadvija Sarisripa Devaditya Martyadhivihi. And now he talks about the Virat Rupa of Bhagavan. We have seen this Virat Rupa a couple of times in the previous Stutis also. Virat Rupa basically means this whole universe is Bhagavan Sharira. Whatever thing we are looking at, it is all Bhagavat Sharira only. It is all Bhagavan's body. We have to make an imagination like that. So, O Aja, he calls out. He says, you are the unborn one. You do not have birth at all. O birthless one. Tiryak, we have seen this word Tiryak. Tiryak means that which travels horizontally, means animals. Dvija, which is twice Naga. Second word is Naga. Naga means trees. That which does not move is naga. Nagachati iti nagaha. So trees and plants, they do not move, so they are called as nagaha. Dvija. Dvija means that which is twice born. Birds are born twice, because first they are born as an egg, and then the egg hatches and they are again born. So they are called as dvija. Sarisripa is these things which move without legs, like snakes and other reptiles. So Sarisripa. And Deva, Daitya, Devas and Asuras, and Martyadibihi, humans. So this whole, all this Jiva Rashi that is there, those are all Jiva Rashis. Then there is Sadasad Vishesham. These are this word Sat and Asat. That which is manifest and unmanifest, that which is there and not there and everything. Sadasad Vishesham. So Sat, Asat. Asat means subtle causes, that which is unmanifest. Sat means the effect, the that we can see, that which is gross. Okay. We have seen this in the 47th, 48th verse of Dhruva Stuti. So Sadasad Vishesham, beginning from Mahadadyanekam, starting from that Mahat Tattva, then Aham Tattva, and the whole of this creation. So those two phrases, starting from Tiryang Naga till Mahadadyanekam, basically describes the Virat Swarupa of Bhagavan. Starting from the unmanifest to all these manifest things, all of these are te sthavishtham rupam. Sthavishtham means that which is gross, that which can be captured by the indriyas. You can either see it or you can at least infer it, you can imagine about it. So even the unmanifest, the subtle cause, we can imagine it, we can infer that if there is something, there should be a cause behind that. That is how we make our inference that any effect should have a cause. So all these are somehow with our thinking of the intellect or with our own indriyas, we can capture all of this. So this thes thavishtham rupam parichitam. Parichitam, the commentator makes the meaning as all pervasive, that which is vyapta, that which is there everywhere, omnipresent. But parichitam can also mean where Dhruva is saying, this is very much evident. I am able to capture this using my senses. This is very parichita to me. I understand this very well. This form of yours, which I can see, touch, smell, or think about it, or imagine, this form is very understandable by me. But I get lost here. Your form that is beyond this creation, atah param yat, that which is beyond this creation, navedmi, that I do not know. I can see all this and imagine that this is your Sharira and your Virat Swarupa, but that form of yours, which is untouched by this whole creation, on which this whole creation appears, that I do not know. Na vedmi means I do not know. Why do I not know? Yatra vadahana. Because words cannot capture that form. There is nothing that you can describe about that, because it is anubhava matra swarupa. That which is known only by the experience of the self and which cannot be put in any kind of words, that I do not know. Of course, I do not know. He just shows his inability. That which the Upanishads themselves say, yato vacho nivartante. That which the words cannot describe. The words take you till there and then just leave. I mean, that truth has to be captured by that anubhava and cannot be explained. That is what those Upanishad words he is putting here as navedmi, I do not know, because yatra vadahana. Because descriptions or words cannot describe that of your, because that sthiti is just self-evident. He continues in the next verse. Kalpanta yetadakhilam is the next verse. So at the end of the kalpa ante, at the end of the kalpa, this whole akhila, the whole universe, yaha puman jatarena grinhan, this primal being, this purusha who is there, holding the whole thing in his own jatara. Jatara usually means the stomach, belly or something. What it means is he takes the whole thing within himself. During the dissolution of the creation, at the end of the kalpa, the whole universe dissolves into you, into your belly, O Bhagavan. And what does he do when it dissolves? He is just Swadrik. There is nothing other than himself. So he is looking into himself. That is what it means. But Swadrik actually means Atmani Sthitaha. There is nothing outside to look at. And inside also means he is just being as that Chinmurti Swarupa. Just as the Chit Prakasha, he is there. Grinhan is Swadrik. How we see? Ananta Sakaha Tadanke Shete. So this is the beauty when you look, see that Narayana form in Yoga Nidra. Narayana is lying on that serpent with no worry in the world. His friend is just Ananta. Ananta is the thousand-headed snake that is there, Ananta Shesha. One who is the friend of Ananta, you sleep on his own lap, on his lap. His lap meaning Ananta's lap. On the lap of Ananta, you are there in Yoga Nidra. In that Yoga Nidra, yen nabhi sindhuruha. While in that Yoga Nidra, your navel, the navel of Bhagavan, he considers that to be an ocean. Nabhi sindhu ruha kanchana loka padma. The golden lotus emanates from that sindhu of your navel, from the ocean that which is your navel. A golden lotus appears, and that golden lotus is the source of the universe. Garbhe, in that Padma's Garbha, Garbha means within that. Garbha does not always mean womb, it means within that Padma Garbhe, Dyuman, there is a Prakasha. Dyu means something that is very bright. Who is that bright being within that Padma? It is Brahma, Chaturmukha Brahma. So that bright Brahma, that effulgent Brahma is sitting there on that lotus, which emanates from your navel. To that kind of a Narayana who is in Yoga Nidra, I bow down. Tasmai Bhagavate Pranataha Asmi. To that Narayana who is in Yoga Nidra, sleeping on Anantashesha, and from whose nabhi comes the lotus of the universe on which Brahma is stationed, to that Adi Narayana, to that Chinmurti Swarupa, I bow down. Pranataha Asmi. So the inner meaning of this verse we will know in verse 15, which we will take it up in next class, because there little more detailing is necessary. It is almost like the 47, 48th verse that we saw in Prahlada Stuti. So we have 3 more verses in Dhruva Stuti, 15 to 17. We will learn that and see the meanings also in the following class. We will pause here today. So I had already announced on the WhatsApp group that we will have CBT not this weekend, but the following weekend. The 4th practice test has been re-uploaded. I see that about 40 odd of you have attempted their test. I suggest all of you take the 4 and 5 practice tests so that the CBT 2 becomes easy. Practice test 5 will be uploaded by Monday. It might be uploaded tomorrow also, so just be on the lookout, but you will get a WhatsApp message as soon as it is uploaded. If you do both the practice tests before taking up the second part of the exam, it will be quite simple for all of you. The notes till class 19 have been uploaded. Till 21 also will be uploaded by tomorrow. So you will have about a week to study. And the memorization will be 2 weeks from now. I think the forms for that have been circulated. If not, then it will be circulated soon. Don't worry. So this is the next and the following week. There will be the tests will be there. We will complete the Dhruva Stuti the next week. Any other doubts, you can raise your hands. For those who want to attempt the previous test, we will have a window to open that. Don't worry, non-overlapping window. So if there are any new questions or questions about the portions that we have dealt with today, then please ask about that. And anyway, as I had announced last week, and the Guruvayur trip is on March 1st. Those who are willing may attend. The Parayanam and that day's all food will be taken care of by us. You can book your own accommodation and visit the temple around that time. All of you are invited for this event in Guruvayur. Vijay Raghavan Mahodaya.
Namaste, Guru.
Namaste.
So I had a question that pertains to last and this, mainly around the senses. So in Prahlad Stuti, you mentioned that the senses, there's the physical eye and then there's the vision.
Correct.
Right? So and throughout all the stutis, we have been talking about purifying our senses. So
Yes.
how do, like, through like sense control, we can probably purify our physical senses. So how do we purify our like non-physical or subtle sense?
Okay. Very, very nice question. Very useful question also. The subtle sense is associated directly with the manas. Whenever the mind comes in contact with a sense, that is when we are able to do any activity. For example, the eyes are always taking in various light and seeing Rupa. But you don't actually gain any knowledge unless the mind comes and stays behind the eye in a metaphorical sense. Right? You might capture, there are many people might work, or you won't know, you won't even remember, or you don't know that happened at all unless the mind comes there and fixes itself there. So this is what we mean by the inner eye behind that at the first level. So the mind and that connection with the eye is what is called as the inner eye in one sense, okay, which is the subtle form of this thing. So how do we purify the internal senses? So there is a two-pronged attack. When you do Indriya Nigraha of the physical senses itself, then the internal senses also get purified. The vision also gets purified when you purify the eyes. In the what sense? You always try to see good things. You always try to see good things. That is for eye. You always try to listen to good things. That is for the ear. That itself will purify the inner sense also. When you use the mind also, in a sense, you continuously do some japa or you do some puja. That is all for a mental this thing. Shanai Shanai Ruparamed Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya, says Bhagavan in the Gita. Slowly we practice in a small quantities, we keep continuously practicing these. Then the mind also gets purified. So from both sides, that internal senses also get purified. This is how we purify the internal senses.
धन्यवाद.
Raghunath ji.
You mentioned naga is na gacchati iti naga, like
Correct.
trees and plants.
Yeah.
It also applies to mountains and hills and all that, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It applies to a lot of things. Here, in that particular phrase, tree will be better because he's talking about living things. Tiryak, Naga, Dvija, Sarisrupa, etc. That's all.
Okay.
There are many
Because we are-
meanings for Naga. In such, for example, the word Dvija. Dvija could have been used, usually it is used for Brahmanas or the Trivarnikas, etc. That meaning wouldn't make sense here. So it is about what meaning makes sense in the context.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Sumati Chandrasekhar.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Namaste.
A little off track actually regarding the senses and experiences. Like when we go to a temple or when I meditate also, I get different experiences or different visions. So how do I make out that this is just a play of mind and which is happening through senses, or it is something beyond which is happening and I'm just experiencing that bliss at that point of time?
Anyway, this is a personal question. I will have with your own personal experience. It is difficult to give a general answer based on some personal experiences. Nevertheless, with some generality, I will give a very short answer. If it is a divine experience, what is a divine experience? If there is a divine vision or a guru anugraha or whatever Ishta Devata we are meditating upon, if they themselves give, if it is somewhat associated with such a vision, then that is good. Any vision is created only by the mind. Okay. It is, but that comes because of anugraha. And if it gives a certain sukha, that is good. The idea of this jnana is to go beyond those visions also. But nevertheless, we can ask our Ishta Devata that you give me that particular jnana which takes me to your real Swarupa. But getting those visions is good, but we should not think that that vision is the goal, because when that vision goes away, you might have some dukkha also. oh, why it went away, when it will come, when will it come again, etc. That kind of a dukkha might come.
Correct. And we long for getting the same thing.
You long for that. That longing is also good. If it is a spiritual longing for the Ishta Devata, that also leads to purity of the mind, which is excellent. Okay. But the goal is not just that vision. The goal is sakshatkara of the self itself. So that is good.
So how do I go beyond that?
Anyway, going beyond that vision is not in our hand directly. It is not like a methodical process to go beyond.
Okay.
You still do the prayer to the Ishta Devata only. They themselves will take you beyond that vision.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Dhanyavada.
Kal Krishnan Mahodaya.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
I just want to make a quick comment of how all these classes have come together for me for the last 12 years of my journey through vyoma. You know, the teachings of the Gita, the Narayaniyam, now the Bhagavatam. All this, maybe this is part of my age, I'm not sure. You know, I have sort of come to the conclusion that the Srashta and the Srishti, you know, Tesham Egameva Swarupam Swabhavaha. So all this discussion about God being outside of us and not spending enough time to look inside of us, you know, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. And I have started to pay much more attention to that than the outside way of looking at the creator and the creation. Just a comment for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Saraswati Balachandran.
Taranyamanda idrinanda podavela Dhruva Prahalada Stuti last slokas.
Last shlokas, the YouTube of the class has come in the sense.
I want the PDF of all these slokas.
Understood. That we will put it tomorrow or by Monday we will put it.
Print out, no, I got only up to 37. After that, up to 50, it is not there.
Understood. We will put it. It is there in the class PPT. That PDF is available in the notes. But I understand what you're asking. The whole Stuti we have not updated. I will update it. By Monday it will be updated. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Dhanyavad. Ram Sarvebhyah. Punaragrima Saptahante Punarmilamah. Namas Sarvebhyah.